It's live now.
Yeah. Well, he's all that. Come on. 7
Done it
o'clock.
on a bigger
nearly.
screen.
Yeah, the bigger screen's better for me. If anyone asks questions, you can ask me kind of.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. We've got the amazing Carl Walker coming up tonight. And the amazing Exposure TV. And Eli's in the background squeaking his little toy. Tops. That's better. I'd put a t-shirt underneath, freezing. You love? Yeah. I've got a chest this week. Put me in these brown and nails now. The doctor, because when you get older, he said sometimes you need the stronger one. So I only use it now and then. But some days my chest really chock of a phlegm for that. I had COVID 4 times. I had COVID and twice I had pneumonia in the last 4 years. So I've got to be very careful, obviously. But still won't take the COVID jab. 20 on. Keep going, guys. Keep on moving to the top. My hands are definitely getting better now. Look at that. Couldn't even, I was like that when I remember I was like that coming out of hospital. Totally all gone now. That stuff, the balance is coming. My neck now. Couldn't do any of that. Nearly full range of motion. I've got about 98%. The lady said in the muscular skeleton ward in what do you call it? My sister got me loads of jupe and all that for my birthday and thingy. I haven't seen her since December, so I've just got all my presents today, Christmas presents and stuff. Well, last night I got them opened up today, so I've got loads of jupe and that. So I was going shavers and stuff and stuff. Brilliant all Catherine. Yeah, so I'm just sat here talking to 51 people. Don't forget to put your thumbs up if you like the challenge. The channel helps us with algorithms. Exposure TV is just in the gym. He's going to pop on as well with us. We'll have a good old chat, the three of us. And Carl, I think Carl's at the gym as well. I just like to think while I'm sat here, like Teddy Dicko, my prayers going out to Nosha Howard, who's been poorly. Love you, Nosha. You can keep going, brother. We love you. And me and Emma have been praying for you. Just to say, like, to Man York, Basil Mann, Kev Kilty, Bram, Lee Wortley, Yami B, and also there, Bob Smith, little Basil from Groveville. There's that many. I'm going forever. Ray Bam Hilton, on there. The ones in Cowley scumbags wouldn't go knock on the man's door and see how much bottle you've got then. Throwing bricks through people's windows. But why don't you be a man and knock on Brian's door? Thanks, Ray. Love you, brother. Thanks for all that. Matt Legg, the other one said absolute cowards. He's there behind me 100%. They're all there. There's a motorbike gang, what I know from years and years ago. I haven't seen them for years and years. Well, 20 years. They've been on the phone. Yeah, listen, brother, what you did for us. I did a couple of things where I stopped a lot of them going to jail years ago. I got something to drop charges on them and saved some of them getting 10 and 15 years. And they owed me from that. I said, look, we still owe you for them. Even though it's 20 years ago, we still know what you've done for us. And I got a lot of stuff back for them who robbed them from right down the road. Fucking dangerous people. The motorbike gangs actually run like America now. It's not the gangsters, the mafia now. There's one, I can't remember his name, something like Mumbles, and he was from in Montreal. Something like 50,000 members in a gang. That's that way. He had control of the whole of the area. He's got life off now, but they're the most dangerous. Like there's the cartel, obviously, Mexico, and then there's the motorbike gangs. They run everything. Like the Sons of Anarchy. That's true. That you know what they do. Even the cops are scared of them. They're all because they haven't got names. Most of them they're just pissed off. And on a bike, just change the number plate, and it's so easy to get away. And that's they're dangerous over there now. So the mafia worked with them in the late 80s, 90s. I know they're actually running everything. All the allegedly the drugs and the guns and everything. They run all that stuff. Massive firms, motorbike gangs, and even in England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, they're all you know. Yeah, but they're not bad people. They're good. You just got to be in their humour and a bit of fun things. They do crazy things. But yes, it's good to know people from all over. But, the window fitters. He's mentioned all the windows and everything, so that's good. Going to be putting them in tomorrow. I think it is. He was going to come today, but we had to wait for somebody else for the parcel coming. So we were a little bit late. But new doors getting put on as well. A new back doors getting put on, and the new one upstairs. So when the wood brick come in, it came through that front window, And it landed there on the floors, a big like delve where it landed, the bricks over there. And obviously Emma had been out with the dog. If she'd have been out a little bit longer, she was out with the not she. When I said she was out with the dog, she was out with the dog, but she'd come back. Do you understand me? So something, oh, she was out with the dog, but what's the big deal? And she was out with the dog and she'd come home, and then they put the brick through, right? So if she'd have been a couple of minutes out longer, they'd have been throwing that brick. She'd have caught them back the right on the front with my brother Bobby and Eli. So we've been over with this because the assholes already admitted it to him, bragging on that shit, all that crap. So yeah, so we know who it is, and we're not stupid. But yeah, Carl's coming on tonight. He's going to tell us the story. Well, he's a great lad. No bullshit from him. He's a real deal. He doesn't give a shit. He's like a young me when I was in my prime. Just go straight to your door, knocks on the door outside me, and you want one on the front, and that's how he does it. And he went to see Decca Ding Dong. He shut his mouth off. I got more and tell you the full story. I'll let Carl tell you. And he goes up there, knocks on the door. Then Mr. Chips comes out, not off the game, Mr. Chips. You know, that his dad come out and he went straight to the door. He didn't give a shit. There he is, the guard dog. So the guard dog, he's at he was barking like mad when the window went through. You know, the pup. He's going mad at the door. But yeah, he's Carl's a great lad, really good lad, good people behind him from all over, really well respected in Ireland, Belfast, and from both sides, both different people, paramilitary people, people in the community, families are massive. Like you see, his granddad was in the Birmingham Six. He got arrested. He went to jail. I thought it was 20 odd years, 16 years. Carl said he did. In jail, and they got out and still never got any compensation, and they've never done it. But we just set up by the British police. You know, that's what they do. But yeah, so we had something last night saying, it's such and such a place here. You need to phone us now. We know it was. It's the place you need to phone us now. It's for North Yorkshire Police. I went, well, why would I help you if there was out? I knew it was there. He's an idiot, that idiot. And we all know what I'm talking about. Won't mention the name or this. So they're putting things on, pretending to be police officers now. It's North Yorkshire Police here. We're going, yeah, what you've done is attempted murder and all this crap. And I said, well, you just do that. You go to the police, and you do that, right? And then all of a sudden, what will happen is when they come in, they take my computer and the router, and they take your computer and router. They're going to see the threats to murder my dogs, threats to kill me, threats to rape my wife. Hundreds of times you've said that. Threats it'll all come from your router because it's all in cyberspace. Everything comes from your router. It stays there. So go to the police. I want you to go to the police, get me arrested, and then they'll have to check your stuff to see if you're telling the truth. When they check your stuff, you've got gay rape porn on it, haven't you? And you've got all sorts of different disgusting things. You'd be saddling all them on it. So all that's going to come out. So go to the police. So I'm challenging you, just go. But last night you went to the police on here. We just seen it. It was the same thing you did to Maria. I was the same bullshit. It's North Yorkshire Police. You need to stop thinking we're coming to your house to arrest you. The police wouldn't do that on a computer at fucking 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever it was. I was just laughing my head off. I thought they're so desperate. And was that in the hospital and all the shit? Yeah, but he'll be staying in the hospital if he doesn't behave himself. He'll be visiting him. He'll go in the hospital every day visiting. But yeah, getting back to the Carl, he's a great lad. He boxed for Ireland. He's the real deal. I'm just waiting for him to come on. He's in the gym. He's obsessed with the gym like I was. And when you're young, you just want to be in that gym. And so Exposure's been on. And after Exposure, and all thanks to Exposure, another great lad, Yami B as well. Just so many people. I could sit here all night. Contact on the travellers from Stockton phoned us, and the travellers from Darlington have phoned me. If you need just drive over here for you, we're only a few hours, only an hour away from you. Darlington doing half an hour type of thing. So, you know, I think all lads, like the City Lane lads, there's loads all down there, all good kids. One joy Jamie's mate. Really good people. They own most of the shows and that there. But yeah, loads of support from all over the world. People from everywhere. Even people from America's phoned me. Not that they're coming over, just saying they're disgusting cowards what they're doing. I said, yeah, I can't do it one on one. They've got to do it through throwing bricks. But like I say, if they want to meet me anywhere, just phone me. I'll come meet you. You know, keep my wife out of it. Keep the dog out, and keep my brother out of it. Just it's me. If you want me, come get me. Don't throw bricks in with people's windows. You know, just pathetic, cowardly that lacked. like little children throwing bricks to any like little. Not even kids would even do that. You know, they wouldn't do it. But yeah, that's it. Throw the brick and run. That's easy. You're doing it. Pathetic. Come and have a fight. One tin foil. Me and you 1-to-1. Anywhere you want to choose. Keep the family out of it, and it's just me and you do that. Let's dance. You like all your bobbing and weaving. You're going to school me. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. Well, I'm here. I'm here waiting for you. 197 on. I hope you put your thumbs up. Still waiting for everything. I was going to say, yeah, getting back into the gym now, training. Sometimes 5 days a week, sometimes 6. Did a little bit too much last week. And we did a little bit too much last week.
212 on, Brian.
I know. What?
Right, I'm just going to pour the cigarette out in all.
So, yeah, 212. I just said 202 a minute ago. So we're waiting for the lads to come on. We're just talking about.
It's going to be 20 minutes.
Yeah.
In the gym.
So I'm just talking about my training while
Yeah.
So yeah, so if anyone wants to get in the gym, just get to the gym, get down there. Don't keep saying I'm going to join. Just join, go in there. And what you want to do with the gym, it's a bit like, say you're going to run a marathon. You wouldn't do 26 miles one day, would you? You do a little bit at a time. So if you go in the gym, just go in and do one set of 10 on, say, bench press, and do it on the machines, because when you get in with a free weight, it's like being on a ship. You're all over. The balance is all over. So build up your strength, build up your stamina, build up your balance. Go on the machines first, so you don't hurt yourself. You'll be dropping there. If you're doing curls on the machine, you drop it, it just falls into the machine. But if you hold the barbell and you drop it, drops on your feet, break your feet. So use the machines, go in there, and the training instructor will probably give you 10 exercises and just do 10 reps on every one. Do about a minute to 2 minutes rest in between, and try and do like a full body workout. Go maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or go Monday, Wednesday, Friday for a month, and then go Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday for a month, and then go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and have Saturday and Sunday off, and you build your routine up. They will help you, the people in the gym, the training instructors. But you don't go in there and think, I'm going to get as much weight as I can on, because that won't build muscle. 1 rep doesn't build muscle. Reps between, say, 6 reps and under is for power. Sorry, doing that one. Tom Platt said to me, just do that once a month. He said, don't do that every week, because you won't gain. And when you go, I was a lad the other week, wanted to beat his bench press record about 4 weeks ago. He's beat it now because he's listened to what I told him to do. I said, well, do 1 week of this and 1 week of that, and 1 week of that, and then go for your power just once a month. If you try and do it every week, you burn yourself out. So you can never, ever keep getting more weight on the bar, because obviously when you say the camel, the straw that broke the camel's back, you can get up 1,000 pounds on, and you could put a straw and it could break his back because that weight's just a bit too heavy. So what you need to do is just start off slowly and progress and go up a little bit on the weights and go up on the reps and just build. But when you're doing the weights, do them properly, full range of motion, straight out, nice and strict, breathe properly, curl them nice, hold them, squeeze them back down, and do the weights properly in the gym. And then when you want to go heavy, you can do a little bit of cheat training every 3rd or 4th week, and that way you'll get your gain. But I take a little book and write it down. My memory's brilliant, so I don't need a book.
Someone's asking Beauty wants to say, what's the best gym to join for a beginner? They live in Norton.
Any gym whatsoever, any gym that's just got weights and machines, and you can see by just looking for the window. The one gyms are really good. They're only about 16 quid a month, which is what, 4 quid a week. And they're really good. But what you've got to do, you've got to kick yourself on, saying, I'll join next week, then Wednesday come on. Well, it's halfway through now. I'll join Friday, and then I'll go Sunday. Get off your ass and go tomorrow and join. Get in there and then mingle about with the lads and ask them. And people like myself can't wait to help people in there. Bodybuilders love helping other bodybuilders. Weightlifters like helping weightlifters, powerlifters in there, the training instructors in there. They've all got diplomas or degrees or whatever they've done, the training instructors, they have to nowadays, and they're all first aid trained, so they won't hurt you, and you better go. But then don't jump in with your mate who's been training for like 3 years and try and keep up with him, because you're going to hurt yourself. The worst thing you can do is try and get 1 reps, because you'll end up tearing a muscle or tearing a tendon or ligament or something. But the main thing, Tom Platt said to me, when you go in, Brian, always warm up. Say you're doing knees first. Say you're doing their legs first. do 20 leg extension, 20 leg biceps. I said, yeah, but you won't be strong. He said, yeah, but it doesn't matter about that. It doesn't matter about the strength, he says, because you're going for size. So he said, do 2 sets of 20, that's 40 reps. So the blood's already in your legs. So you're pre-exhausted. So when you go on the squat, you can't go as heavy, then you can't hurt your knees as much because the weight isn't as heavy. So you get a better range of motion because you've already warmed up and you won't pull your tendons or ligaments.
Underweight Steve has said, what's the best thing to eat, Bri, to get muscle? My son's 17, he's obsessed with the gym at the minute, but doesn't know what food to eat.
Well,
Ideally, hope you will.
Your best thing to put weight on, and the most important thing, you go to the gym. When you go to the gym, you break your muscle down. And it's called the DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. So what you do, you're breaking down the muscle in the gym. People go, I'm growing it. You don't grow in the gym, you're breaking it down. So you're breaking it down, break it down. So then you come out of there and you need to have a protein drink. With carbohydrate up 30, 40 grams of carbs and maybe 40 grams of protein. You take that, and then when you're resting, you're sleeping, your growth hormone comes awake. So the growth hormone works when you're asleep. So when you're sleeping, then the body starts growing then while you're asleep. So you need that protein in your body. So I would take a protein drink an hour and a half before you train. I would have it with water. Just if you, a lot of people put it with milk. Now, the reason why you can't take it with milk takes about 2.5 to 3 hours to digest. It curdles into little balls in your stomach. So it's very, very hard for the human body to digest, especially cow's milk. So that way, it takes 3 hours and you're in the gym, an hour and a half later after taking it, it's still digested in your stomach. So what happens there, if your body's digesting food in your stomach, it's taking blood away from the muscle. So your muscles, the blood's going in the stomach to digest the food. You want the blood in your veins and in your muscle when you train, so you get more reps and you get more bigger because your arms pump. But you must take a protein drink an hour and a half before, and maybe half a banana or a little bit of Lucozade or a bit of apple juice or something like that. Carbohydrates, and also the carbohydrates you can use with porridge, 50 grams of porridge, 50 grams of porridge, 50 grams of protein, and that's all you need. And maybe have 4 of them a day, maybe 5. I was having six a day, sometimes more. I was having 15,000 calories a day. That thing where I'm on in the holiday when I'm eating all that food, that's true. You have a look at Rich Piana, you have a look at Ronnie Coleman, you have a look at all them top powerlifters, and you'll see the tables full of food. They all eat tons of food. Most of them eat about 5,000-6,000 calories because their bodybuilders only 5'7", about 16 stone. But somebody like my height, 6'3" and 24 stone, you need a lot more money. So you need a lot more fuel. It's like a car. If you have a Mini, you can put a fiver in it, you can go all over. Put a fiver in the tank, it won't even started. So the bigger you are, the more food you can need to consume. So you need. My thing is, the more you eat, the more food you eat, the more you put in, the bigger you get.
What about taking creatine?
Creatine's great to take, but don't take it how they tell you on there. What they tell you to do is say take creatine 5 grams 5 times a day for 10 days in a row, loading phase, which uses 250 grams in 10 days. So what you do is you just take 5 grams a day in water, anything, tea, coffee, anything. You take 5 grams because you only digest 2 grams or more. So if you take 5 a day, that's enough. So in 21 days' time, it's like the glass. Say the glass is full to the top, you can't get any more water in. That's what happens. So the receptor sites are the ones that take in the creatine. The creatine absorbs it, and it goes into the receptor sites, and then they're full. So no matter how much you pour into a glass, if it's full of water, you can't get any more in. So don't do that. What they tell you 7 days, it's a marketing gimmick to take your money off you. So if you just take 5 grams a day, it helps. The Arsenal football team were taking it, and they were saying they were on steroids. Arsene Wenger, if they call him, and Ferguson was fuming because they were so fit. But the creatine isn't a steroid, so it's the most thing that's been checked out of all the things to take in the world. Creatine's the biggest and best one to take because it does gain. You'll gain about 10 to 14 to 16 pounds in 21 days with it. But you can take it. They're giving it to old people in America. And it's bringing them up with Alzheimer's, it's giving them the minds back. So it's really good.
Liam Moylan said, am I better off losing the belly first, Brian, with cardio than weights after, or would you recommend weights lose weight? Tell them.
Right, building, the people don't understand this. Doing cardio, running and all that, you end up losing the muscle, and you end up with more fat on you. If you train with bodybuilding on the weights, when you're trained when you do your run on your, say you're biking or running or a road, you burn the fat off, and then you stop. Stops because you stop doing it. When you break down the muscle, like I told you, it goes into little microscopic tears in the body. So what happens then is your growth hormone, when you sleep, comes out. So your growth hormone is like a nuclear furnace, burning the fat off. So while you're sleeping, your body for about 16 hours is burning and burning and burning the fat calories off because the weightlifting you've done, you've damaged the muscle that much. It needs help, so it produces more growth hormone. So the growth hormone then helps to spark it, and it helps to ignite it. So that there's, but while you're asleep, just don't. The only thing you can't do is if you go home, if you do it that way, you train really heavy. Don't have a protein drink with just protein, no carbs, because what happens? You've got your pancreas here. Your pancreas, when you eat sugar, spikes, so that then sends insulin up. If the insulin's triggered, it'll stop the hypothalamus sending a signal to the pituitary gland that produces the growth hormone. So one hormone will cut the other hormone off. So you can only take protein all night, and the next day, so either about 10, 12 hours of just protein in your body. Then the growth hormone will help, and it'll keep working and working and working. But if you take any sugars, it'll just stop straight away because that'll spike the pancreas to make the insulin spike.
That's the end of the question. Just want to say, any of our moderators that are getting blatantly trolled, or any of the moderators getting, I know I always tell you at a time about what if they're blatantly trolling you, just hide them from the channel. Let me have a look.
People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
I need to contact the doctors like you told me to regarding testosterone, but don't know what to say without feeling silly. Must be low tests, getting night sweats, can't be bothered doing anything. What
you do, you go to the doctor, you tell them exactly what you've just said. Just tell them exactly what's on the tin. So you turn around and say, I'm mood swings, I'm getting out of bed, I can't be bothered to train, I'm very lethargic, your libido's down as well. So tell the doctor that, and they will test you, and they will tell you what you get. You can get a cream or you can get an injection, and within about 2 or 3 months, your mindset, it'll produce the endorphins, your testosterone will go up, you'll have more strength. It helps you with wrinkles disappear, everything. It's the fountain of youth. All they're doing is the steroids, what you get off the steroids, what you get off the doctor is the same steroids what you produce when you're young, but you can't produce it naturally, because when you get to 30, 31, 32, you start losing between 1 and 1.5% a year. So by the time you're in your 60s, you're probably less than half of what you had when you were in your 20s. So you need it off the doctor, and it's not, you don't get addicted to it. It doesn't give you mood swings often because they're only giving you enough to give you that boost, and it will make your mindset a lot better. You will get to work better, and you'll get through the day better.
Should you take pre-workout?
Pre-workout's really good if you're struggling with it. Pre-workout's good about, I'd say, 20 minutes before, but the branched chain amino acids are really good as well. So really, if you take the workout, I would just use the branched chain amino acids. A lot of people are doing that now. You take maybe 6 branched chain amino acids about an half an hour before you train, and then as you train, and let's say you train 30 minutes, you take another 6 to get you through the routine, because then the first 6 are starting to burn out. So what they do, they go straight into the liver, and they digest straight away. So they're working straight away. You don't have to wait for them to digest for ages. So about 30 minutes to digest in the liver, and your liver has got glycogen in, so they're used as glycogen. So if you burn your glycogen out, which is like a battery with no energy in it, so the branched chain amino acids, they're not there. You can get powder as well, they're good. You take that, and that puts that glycogen, which is like energy, back in your liver, and it makes you train better and keep going.
Yeah, someone said better off taking insulin with growth hormone, but somebody said Michael Allen only pros do that.
No, you cannot take growth hormone. People haven't got a clue about growth hormone. You take growth hormone, your hands get too big, your jaw gets too big. All things can go wrong with growth hormone. Loads of people are deformed with it and everything. So you've got to know exactly what I use exactly to take. Same as insulin. Don't take insulin. You could just take one bit too much insulin, fall asleep, and not wake up. You go hyperglycemic, which means you go into a coma. So these people are taking insulin. You've got to be very, very careful what you're doing, because that's what Rich Bannon died. Most of the top ones you're seeing about having heart attacks are all through the insulin from growth hormone. Now, growth hormone gives you a massive gut as well. It's called bubble gut. Like, you see them all extended stomachs now because the growth hormone makes everything grow, everything.
But them peptides have the right amount in, don't they?
Yeah, the peptides, they're not those steroids. Yeah. They're not to do with them. They're amino acids, the peptides.
But they're as good as growth, aren't they?
Yeah, but you've got to get the right ones.
Peter Hill, push on that till human growth decreases in your 20s.
That's what I'm saying. It does decrease. And your growth hormone decreases, and your testosterone decreases, mainly in your 30s. is when it starts plummeting a lot.
Um,
That's why you get the wrinkles. That's why you're getting out of bed. And that's what, when you get off, you start me, you're getting out of bed. You make these stupid noises when you're sitting down and getting up. What the effing hell's all that about? They 300 people on just talking about training.
2 seconds.
309 people on. And you listen, people out there. I've been doing this since I was 13. I've over 45 years. I've read thousands and thousands of articles. Then I'll tell you I'm on YouTube every day reading and learning. I've got NVQs and training. I've got their diplomas. I've got there.
What's your thoughts on GRT testosterone?
It's the same thing. That's what it is.
Replacement therapy.
Yeah,
A lot of all fighters are using it.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Do you agree with it?
Yeah, that's what they're all about. Testing your body. Hormone replacement therapy is testosterone. What they give you when you go to the doctor, you get the cream on your hand, or you get the injection off the doctor.
And our friend Subaru guy said, Brian, what do you think of dynamic tension training?
It's still good. It's really good. It was out with I can't remember his name now. From the 60s, it'll come to me. He used to get his routine. He was great. Only about 12 stone. He used to be on the telly and he used to do all these exercises. It's really good dynamic tension. What bodybuilders do it when you finished after the set and just getting that blood in tight and strain. I do it every one. I do it in bed. I'll lay in bed and I'll straighten my legs and I'll go 1, 2, 3, dead tight and hold them for 5 seconds. And I'll do my calves in bed when I'm like laid there, just doing stretching on them. And I'll do like little things like that and hold tight and squeeze. So you're constantly making the muscles. One other great thing that makes you grow better if you stretch after training, because most people train and they'll go back and the tight as a drum, going, my chest, and your wife will go, you'll jump or twitch the leg because they're probably overtrained a little bit. So if you do stretching, you stretch it, because what's happened, the muscles tightened up. You've done it elastic here, is it? It's gone like that. It's gone like that. Gone like so. It's open. So then the next day it goes dead tight. Well, not the next day. The day after, it's probably 24, 48 hours. So it goes dead tight. The muscle. So when it's dead tight, the blood can't go through. It's constricted, which means it can't go through. So if you start stretching, it'll open up the veins again. So the blood will come through. Hot baths are really good for it, and it helps you delayed onset muscle soreness.
Exposure, if you can hear me, please go on 10 minutes. I've sent you the link in your WhatsApp, but let me know because you've got the full screen on and I'll add you to the stream. 303
on. Hope you all got your thumbs up.
Right, 2 seconds, I'll just get you these questions. Let me have a look.
Warm in here tonight, I tell you.
ASL strain. He said much respect for London.
Thank you very much, and you, brother.
Staying supple, man. Stretching for me is important. To stay supple, yeah.
Very, very important. When I was at my best, when I was 24 stone, massive, and 36-inch size, I could still put both my palms and my hands on the floor and touch the floor and do it for a full minute and stretch my leg biceps. And that's how my legs got bigger than everyone else. And that's why I got bigger, because I was stretching and getting more blood into it. The more blood you get in the muscle, see on the outside of your arm here, these are called the fasciae. So that's like a sheath. If you can stretch that by pumping it, you make it bigger and bigger and bigger, so the muscle gets bigger.
Michael Tyneside, Carney Adventures. No, we haven't got your message yet. If you want to resend it, I can't see it.
I've got no messages. So here, three have jumped off here. What's going on?
I miss weight training. I live straight at one stage. Chelsea's saying, I noticed the injuries nowadays. It's awful and I don't train anymore. Yeah,
you should still train, mate. Even if you did something like cross training, like even biking or even walking or anything, just like people, I've got no stairmaster. You stairs to the stairmaster and run to the top of the stairs, walk down slow. Run to the top of the stairs, walk down slow. Build up to 10 of them a day. Squatting on the bed, just squatting against the wall, up and down, sit at the bottom of your bed in the morning, do 10 before you go to bed in the night, or in the morning do 10 squats and 10 in the night. Just keep that blood flowing, because if you don't use it, you'll lose it, and that's why you end up with bad knees and everything. So yeah, you've got to train. You've got to train no matter what.
They say Brian needs his own gym.
People say that to me all the time. You probably have a queue on that a mile long of people.
Brian, what would you cut? You should do a cookbook for bulking up. That's what I hear.
Yeah. I'm going to do all that. I've done the book with the lads, and because his dad's passed away, we haven't been pushing him. I've already done the training book with all the exercises from a beginner to the advanced to the Brian Cockerill training, how I trained. But you'll throw your guts up and everything, and when you do it, but you'll get massive, huge. And when you're not huge, you've got to get this book. But I'm going to find him and see what he says.
Yeah.
Need to find him. I mean, the book was done. Well, the book was done at Christmas.
Yeah, you say about hydration as well, don't you?
Well, hydration, if you're not fully hydrated, you can lose 3%. Now, 3% doesn't sound a lot, but if you're doing like £100 or £200 deadlift, it's 3% of that is like 60, is it 30, £60 or something you're going to lose. So hydration, you need in the muscle, because the muscle is made for water, so 77% water. So without water and your body in dehydration, you'll be really weak, dehydrated. You see these runners, you've seen me all day doing this, drinking bottles. I drink about 10 bottles of water a day, and then sometimes more. Because just not drink it like a lunatic down one go. Just drink it, sip it slowly. But you can't class a cup of tea or coffee because that's got caffeine, and so it counteracts against it. So you've got to have the water on its own, you know.
Michael Tyneside kind of venture said, "Hello, Brian. It's Michael Tyneside. How are you and Emma doing? Well, I hope.
Yeah, we're doing really good.
Wilson, and do you think he will ever get out?"
Reg, I was padded up with Reg Wilson. I was upstairs, and he was downstairs in the segregation unit in the Durham. He was dangerous, but he was lovely with me. He was just lunatic. But there, he had knives in the cupboard. They found guns under the stairs, and he had all the policemen's names. I don't think he'll get out now, because when he killed that doctor, it was horrific what he did to him, and I don't think he should get out. No disrespect to him, but what he did there was bad. And obviously, not a lot of us don't get on with the police, but you can't go and murder police officers. You can't go and murder anyone and think to get away with it, because obviously we're in the 21st century now. But no matter what century, you can't do what he did.
Mandy Lad said, "Brian, did you see? I don't think we've seen this degree last see. Brian, did you see what happened to Evander Holyfield from Victor Belfort? The former MMA fighter. Belfort was on TRT, and you could tell the difference between them both. I get Holyfield is past it. No, we haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it now. Holyfield for me was the best, had the most bottle out of all the fighters, because he was only about 13.5 stone. When he went in with Tyson, he absolutely destroyed him in that fight. The 2 fights, he destroyed him. For me, bottle wise, I think he had the most bottle out of them all.
Explosive Women said again, use it or lose it. That would be a good book title. It would.
Yeah.
Chelsea, yes, in the video, Australia. I'm just 4 weeks. I built plants up from 20 seconds to 5 minutes with someone. After a month, it was unreal change. We could stand on our heads wearing caps like G. Well done, it. Brian, you was a beast of a size doing gym lifts. Yeah,
I was my day, mate. Paid the consequences now, I think.
Someone was asked, are your knees affected after all years training?
Yeah, well, even without that, my knees were, in 1999, I got an X-ray on my knees, and they said, oh, the knackered Dr. Miller, a surgeon. But even though my knees are bad, they're still not. I'm still doing training, so you've just got to cut back. So you can't think, oh, I can't train, my knees are bad. If you stop doing completely, the knee, what happens if you stop training completely around your knee, say, for instance, you've got muscle in your quadriceps and everything. So there, if you're using them quads, that's muscles, so that's keeping you up. So if you end up losing the quads, it's going to be bone on bone. So your arthritis is going to be agonizing. So you need to build that muscle up in the leg. If you sit on the end of the bed and you just, if your legs and squeeze them like the dynamic tension, put them back down, put the leg back up and squeeze it, and try and build that muscle around the knees and the patellas where your knee will be sore, which is the bit at the front. But yeah, you can still. I've built my knees up by doing lunges, back lunges. I can't do front because it hurts so much. So I do side lunges, I do back lunges. So I built my knees up a lot better. The pain's nowhere near. It used to crunch like a packet of crisps.
Was it worth it being in your health position now? Chelsea Darts, can I just say that, yeah, you might know Jamie from a long time ago and you don't pass judgment. Can I just pass a judgment? But Dale Brendan Hyde, the mother of Lee Duffy's children, I could go on and on and on. Ben Doherty, the professional boxer from London. Many, many others. If you ever want to see the proof on what he's done, I've got it all.
We've got 17,000. Wanted to rape Emma, burn the house down, kill the dogs, spack a bri, your brother, all that stuff non-stop every day.
We're not going to spoil Brian's training stuff, but I'm just letting you know that, Chelsea.
Yeah, we wouldn't be saying it if we didn't have it. Never stops every day.
Yeah, I agree with you, Scooby-Doo, as well. The amount of people that he's actually
trolled on. Even Tommy, Lee Nobody, all them on our channel, all them been trolled. Sparky, loads of them.
How many times a week do you advise training?
I would just go in your first week. I'd just go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or even like Monday, and Thursday, maybe for like twice a week for the first month, maybe, and then go 3 times a week and build up to maybe 4 times a week. That would be the best. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, and Thursday, Friday. And you get a split routine. The lads in the gym will show you how to do it. But yeah, about 4 times a week's great. And then the other days, maybe go to swim bath and swim, and maybe go on a bike or something once or twice a week, do a bit of cardio stuff. And that way, you will never get diabetes. It eradicates diabetes. Nobody. And there's another thing. If you go and have a look at the shadow, what you call him? I can't think of his name. Dorian Yates. If you go on Dorian Yates, where he's talking about people taking testosterone through a doctor, there was a man there. He had about 60 different tablets for all different illnesses. Within 3 months of taking the injections off the doctor, he eradicated everything. He got rid of the stage 2 diabetes and everything. So it's that, he said. So it's probably a cheap way, he said, for the NHS to help people. That's why the doctors are giving more and more people the injection, or more people the cream, because it does help people and it saves them a lot more money.
Most athletes, men, sportsmen, and soldiers all have ballrooms and health issues. Man, testament to them that get on with it daily, buying these kinds of sausages. Definitely, Delstrain. I don't know you, but would go to war with you anytime. MCFC.
Thank you, brother. You. God bless you, son, and God be with you. Yeah, people put people down. And you see, anyone could lift 700 pounds when I'm doing the 700 pounds. You couldn't even budge it off the floor that a millimetre. 700 pounds is the weight of a car, a small car. And I'm squatting on my back. I did 803 pounds, 805. It was like 804 pounds, something just under that squat. I've never seen anyone in the North East squat that much. I did the deadlift with 800 odd pounds. 3 times I deadlifted it. So that video, as you see me on there, that was me at 36, coming up for 37. Before that, I was a hell of a lot stronger. I'm going to be going around the gyms with the lads who should train me, like Lee Little and George Force and all them. And all them will come forward and will tell you what I was doing, what weight I was lifting. I was ridiculous. I could curl 140 kilos, cheating it up 140 kilos. People would be looking at you, deadlift that. And I've got the video evidence to prove it. So the idiot, we've just been on about tinfoil. It's like he's never squatted them weights. And when I put them on the plastic, everything we do and everything we say, it's always lies. And he's never had a fight with this one, but then he was bullying me up, wasn't he, 3 years ago? Yeah. Brian knows everybody. Brian was the biggest name ever. Brian was this, Brian was that. So
Patrick said, are you incredible from Dublin? Steve, Mac, Huey, Fred, Brian from Greenock. Let me have a look. Big Pharma don't want people cured. They want to treat and make money like dealers. Yeah, that's right, with the pharmacies, isn't it? And his girlfriend are very nasty people. Them like you just don't. Yeah, just Cartman. Thank you for that. You're spot on. Cartman's a good lad. He beat the house. I've learned him some training. No, no, it's not that one. It's different one. Yeah. Brian, I can. Unplug 210. I instantly lose any respect for anyone who goes after Brian. Emma, you wouldn't have done it 10 years ago. They wouldn't do it now. They wouldn't dare come to the door, mate. They still wouldn't do it now. It's all talk. Talk's cheap, innit, on these computers. It's a big field over there where I live. We'll just go and meet there. That's so simple as that. Just text me on here and I'll jump on my shoes on, come around the corner and sort it 1-on-1, then shake your hand after I knock you out. I don't bullshit. I've been on one rip test trim and done it's cut the weight and really helped me COPD, this PP. I have test once a week. It's also better than prednisone, etc., which was prescribed steroids. Yeah. Scooby-Doo, have a look. Like half a mil a week won't harm anyone. It'll actually boost your testosterone levels. It'll help you better, your mind, your the gambling you beat, and your endorphins. It helps everything because you're taking something that you've lost because you've got older, so you replace it with the artificial one. But it's the same stuff you get in your body, what you produce when you're young. When you're old, you just don't have it. Yeah, there was more questions here, 2 seconds. I've just lost it. It's going fast. 317 people, that's why. It's going fast. PP, will you message Exposure and ask him to message my WhatsApp when he's going on? Because I can't see Brian's screen, just to add him, see. And if I go off this, I'll lose all the questions again. Side's killing me. Sort the night.
No, besides, that's the thing in this sign here where I've been where they've got the operation. Yeah, it's when I sit straight. That's why I've got to lay down most of the time. I said to Carl yesterday when he was here, I said, sorry if I lay down. He said, no, don't be daft. So, still really bad, but I did a 3.5 hour podcast, the longest one I think I've done, just to stop these things. And he'll pack in now when I put his witness through. No, I won't. And as you know, I've done more podcasts this last week than I've in the last month. So it's just giving me a kick up the arse just to keep, come on, you rats. 335 people.
Thanks, Podcast World. Any more training questions before Exposure and Carl appear?
Yeah, Carl Walker and Exposure TV's coming on. We'll have a good chat with the lads. One of my best friends, these two. They're lovely, lovely people. Been there for us from the start. Lovely people. I'm glad to be friends as well. Love them a bit, the both of them. But yeah, Carl's going to tell us some amazing stories.
Exposure is always late. It's fashion and bloodful to be late.
Scouts already. That's why. He's on the Mersey, isn't he? He's swimming across the Mersey.
Delston, you're spot on. Exposure, are you ready? Right, so if I get you the link. Right, 2 minutes. I did.
Where's Carl?
He hasn't finished at the gym yet.
He hasn't got cold feet, has he?
No. Exposure's going on. I'll just invite.
Dry ride.
Right, copy. Exposure.
Tell you what, some people on. I'll just interview him. Exposure while I'm waiting. I'll get interview. I'll ask him. I'll talk. No one's interviewed him, have they? So I'll do him. I'll put right on his toes here. 324, 320. Come on, keep it going up.
Expo, have you got it?
Big up Expo. He's the man. He only's another one. Why I love him? He only does the wrong uns, the proper wrong uns. And he's done their tinfoil a few times and knows exactly what he is. He's seen all the trolling with his own eyes, and he won't do anyone, will he? Unless they're really bad. Same as our other friend, True Media. He's another great lad. Only does the wrong uns.
Can you Expo? Have you got the link?
I've just got some links upstairs.
Are you Louise, CPA, Child Protection Awareness? Are you okay? Louise, I need a little chat with you soon. I'll message.
Little chat. That'll be 4 o'clock in the morning. She'll get off the phone to you. I'm putting water on my face here because I'm boiling. First time it's been warm in here. You know what
Right, here he is. There he is. I didn't see him there. So are you ready?
Yes,
Exposure TV.
Rose, yeah. Here. Hey. You all right, bud? Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you. What I'm going to do, I'm going to interview you for the change. It's about time.
Oh, no, you've got me nervous.
Right on your
Oh, there we go.
Why you decided to start your channel?
I was bored on YouTube originally, and I seen that Darren G, didn't I?
Yeah.
I had a little personal thing with him, and so I just made a video like ripping him.
Right. Is that when we were managing?
There's a video out to me where I make a statement where I was on the live with Joe Kidd. I was just fucking around where I said that I originally was trolling Darren G, but I wasn't trolling him. That was just another term I made. I was exposing him. I was exposing him. I was just pointing out the stupidness he was doing and vice versa.
Letting people know the real truth, what they're doing. And I said, just before you come on, I said to people, he only exposes, and the word exposes is true what he's doing. He only exposes the wrong ones. He'll do his due diligence, look right into it. If he gets it wrong, which he has a few times, he's went, I'm sorry about that, mate. He's like, apologise to people.
I'll always apologise if I'm in the wrong, guy. You know what I mean? I'm a Christian. I'm a man of God, which is what brought me to you and your channel, Brian. I come across you. I think I've seen you do podcasts and watched the McIntyre documentary years ago and all that. But that was like I'm not one of them, as you know, Brian. We've got to know each other. When you're in that game, Brian, you get a name and a reputation like yourself. You get a lot of angers on, and a lot of people don't come and kiss your ass for back up and all that stuff. But what brought me to Brian and Emma was Jesus. Was Jesus Christ and the way they were delivering the message of Jesus, and it really touched me when I seen Brian coming out of hospital and fighting to get up off the couch in the name of the Lord Jesus and stuff, and telling everyone how he wanted to tell people about Jesus. And that for me, you know what I mean, I just love that. You know what I mean? And I fell in love with you, even ever there at that point. You become like a brother to me because you're a fellow Christian and Jesus loves you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, we love you at the bits. We know that, and we all
I love you
from our hearts, from the bottom of our hearts. When we're down, we talk to each other and things like that, and help each other get back up there. Because sometimes with all this poisonous on here, I don't care how tough you are. It can be the toughest man in the world. It still gets to you when people call you.
It can get very poisonous on here. I mean, what you're dealing with is a lot of people that are depressed. A lot of them who haven't got God in their life, so they will be demon possessed and have the devil in them, trying to provoke you, and they're doing the devil's work. A lot of them, I don't even think they realise. They don't even know. A lot of them don't realise that.
Yeah, I think like yourself and me, never helping people in the community get off drugs, help the people, showing people it's not worth to get selling drugs, not worth being like I did. It may have been shot down.
Yeah, but it's like I'm the same. I feel sorry for anyone, you know, like that wants to be a gangster and wants to live the life that you've lived, and I've lived a bit of a life myself. I don't ever like to glorify my crime and tell people what I've done in my life and all that. But look, I've lived a life. I've mixed with all people at the highest level, you know what I mean, all over the country. I've been about that life. I'm from Liverpool, drafted for 20 years, so as you know, and like getting out of that, like for me to get out of it was a dream. Like I never ever thought I could have a normal life. Like I've got a girl and a baby and a little girl now, which is the world to me. It got to the point where, you know, me and I nearly had the plot wanting to try and take my kid off me, saying because I'm related to people in gun crime and stuff like that. And just to get out, like I'm 2 years out of that life now, to be out of that life now and living normal, is it? Like I never thought I could live like this normal. Like
the good thing is about you look back at all that stupidness and you can have 20 grand away out, 20 grand, 30 grand to it. Just money, gold, 30.
I've had a lot. You know yourself in that game, you're up and down. I've had a lot of dough, then I've been skinned, then I've had a lot of dough, I'm skinned, a lot of dough, you're skinned. It's always up and down. It's a roller coaster, isn't it?
Yeah, then you go to jail. You've been in jail for a year or something. You've missed your mum, your dad, your family, your kids.
Plus, what you've got to realise, there's a lot of police informants. A lot of police informants in that game, and I feel sorry for anyone getting into it. But what you got to realise, if you're not like. If I'd have been a police informant, I'd have had all sorts of businesses, houses, cars, everything all set up. But the likes of me, I was targeted. I couldn't even buy. I'd try and buy a business. I'd have the plug phone in the business saying, "Don't be giving him that property. Don't be selling him that." You know. So I was held back from when I did try and go legit. It never worked for me. At one time, Brian, I had 15 taxis that I was settling out on Delta taxis in Liverpool. That was a good income. That was like 500 quid a month, and that was when I was like 30. It's like 10 years ago, 31, 30, no, around that age, 32. And I was looking to be legit then. I was trying to get out of the game then a bit and go legit. And then the plot went into the Delta taxi offices, which is well known, the biggest taxi firm it was in Liverpool at the time, and told them to take all the radios out my cars and not to allow my cars on there. You know, that was the type of shit you were dealing with. So in the car game, you can't even. It doesn't pay. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't work.
If you were working with them, they wouldn't bother you. I remember.
Yeah.
I had my
100%. And look, right, if I'd have been working with them, the plot and they bought me another 20 cars to go on.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the thing.
One's exposure driving around in BMWs and living in.
Yeah, you got all these people around the top, around hundreds of cars and that.
You've been doing it 30 years and I've never done a day in jail.
And you never get shot. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, they went to the police. It's obvious how what they're doing. They sit there, but they're not. But you can tell who's who. But then these young lads will come and work 18-year-old, give them a kilo of gear, get them caught, and then they'll get themselves to do what they want again. So they keep setting people.
Right, that happened to me when I was young. I'll give you a little bit of my story. When I was 19, I got nicked for driving my van, and I'd never got in debt with anyone. I always I've never even told. I'd always bought me, used to buy me stuff. I used to do a lot of weed. I had it was Rocky back in them days. You probably remember, but I was moving like 50 boxes a week, which was a lot of graft. I was only 19, so at that time I'm making a lot of money for a 19-year-old kid. I'm driving mad all flash cars and bikes and motorbikes. I'm living the dream. I'm going into town and walking around like a celebrity because all the doormen knew me. I work with all different, you know, different. So it did go to me head of me. You know, you think you're a celebrity, you know, you're going in nightclubs with your trackies on in town and all that. So you're getting all the girls hanging on because you're selling the cocaine and that, you know, that life. You think it like there's bits of me that miss it. It was a good life. I don't regret it. I had a good life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then I soon realised once I got nicked, but I had never been to jail. I got nicked for driving while disqualified. I got remanded. Most people don't even get jail for driving while banned. I got remanded, which it was like. And the next minute I come out, my ex-girlfriend and robbed me for a lot of money, a lot of drugs, and went missing, and I'm in debt. Then I'm in debt like 15 grand, like what was probably the biggest firm in the city at the time. I don't even want to mention names and all that.
Yeah, of course.
But like, they were like bringing me up, and I turned into a bit of a lunatic, and then I started snorting. Like I was never ever into the cocaine, but I was snorting because I missed my girl at the time. We were talking love.
Yeah.
She was like me everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I was off on a different path then, you know what I mean?
The thing is, when you're doing it, you think it's going to last forever, don't you? But nothing lasts forever.
Yeah, you think it's last. Yeah, and you spend money like it's going out of fashion, but don't you? You spend £5 on cars and trash them and don't even care because you think, oh, I don't care. I've got that coming in. I've got that coming in this week, and you're just living in a mad world.
When you go to jail, all them ones who you've spent money on don't even send you the car when you're a couple of quid.
Exactly. Well, I'm here now, like 2 years on. I still speak to people, a lot of friends, people who are connected and all that. But like, no one comes helping me. The amount of people I used to help was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of people out there that know what I've done for them, saved them, stopped, you know, like yourself, and a lot of them forget about you, but just the way of the world, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. But when you're flying high, everyone wants to know you, but when you're flying low, everyone.
It's a false world, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a false world.
It is, it is.
And
the devil
need it.
That stuff and taking that stuff, you're working with the devil, and because you've taken that, your head's, you don't even think normal. You go into a different world. Your head's gone all over it, and you're taking it, and your head's fried, and you're not living in it. You've got an existence. So I can't remember one night on the crap I had a good night. Can't remember any. But now I've got Emma married and everything. We've got the dog and everything. A nice house and nice, not as much money, so nowhere near. But I've got a good life because every day I can remember getting out of bed, doing things, and having a great life, and talk to people like you. And where before I just be sat here all day and night, just existing.
MC said it's great. It's the first time we've heard Expo telling his story.
Because he's my brother, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't even tell it to anyone else in the middle, but a lot of people already know we are watching a show, watching a show from Liverpool, you know what I mean?
Well, when you showed us, the first time you met us, you showed your face straight away, didn't you? Everything, and the pictures in your house and everything. So
I've shown loads of me myself. It's just a persona now. It's everyone on my channel, even like all my supporters don't want me to. Like I've done many times. I've said, "You want me to show me face?" And they all say no. All my good followers and supporters, because it's like like the persona now on the channel, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even though people might know who I am, it's no point really showing me face. If it comes a time I have to, I will. You know what I mean?
Ask him if he knew. Is it true? In Liverpool, something nearly fell on him.
Did something nearly fall with you in Liverpool? Nearly killed you?
Yeah, I was in the Echo, wasn't I? I was in the Liverpool Echo, my channel. I forgot to tell you, know.
No,
the big wheel. I was with the baby on the Albert Dock, walking the dog, and I was going to make a little video, and then as I got alongside it, big wheel fell off it, like a car wheel. You have to watch the video. Oh, it was crazy. I thought the old ride was coming down on me. Yeah, so I made the Echo. 1 second, I've just got our dog going wild. These dogs are hard work, aren't they?
Oh, he likes it, mate. You try to do it. He starts barking, he wants to.
1 second, right?
It's okay, mate. So he exposed you first time talking about his life on the Taxman channel. Good lad, he's a good lad.
Get out. Out. Right, I'll get him out.
278 on, and he's fighting with his dog.
No, I've still got the baby running out. 1 second. Just wait. I can hear you talking about.
Yeah, they are babies' dogs. Our dog, they're when they're biting the toy, they squeak it. Eat that noise. What it is I read up on it. It's when they're in the wild, they'll kill like a rat or something that makes that squeaky noise. That's in the brain. So they're squeaking like they're killing a rat or something, and that's how they get excited when they're squeaking the squeaky toys.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, with the squeaky toys.
Yeah, because the bite like a rat. They kill a rat in the wild. It's like in their head to go back 600 years or something, the dogs or something.
It's funny you say now about rats. I had one in my back garden the other day. Fucking massive, running through the back garden, yeah.
Yeah, well, he killed one the other about 4 days ago. Eli, he was in the back garden the other night trying to get one, and he got away. But he's killed a few of them, and he's only a pup. Straight away, he's like that, ragging it with his.
I tell you what, you know what? I don't know what it's like in Middlesbrough, but I don't know if you noticed in the last few years, like the rats, they're everywhere, are they?
Yeah, I think
it's getting overrun with them.
I think it's because of the amount of people that are about. People say that you're never more than 10 feet away from a rat in England.
Yeah, mad, isn't it?
Yeah, mad. But,
do you think it's always been like that? Because I don't always remember. It's only been the last few years that I've ever seen rats like in a garden, or before that, I'd never really, you'd never really seen one around my houses.
Breed, don't they? That's hundreds of them can breed in a month. There's that many.
Yeah. I don't think the councils and that are doing enough to get rid of them, to be honest.
I don't think so myself. Well, I was in there, Liverpool. I was in Walton, and I was writing a letter on the bed.
Yeah, Walton's bad for them.
I went, fucking hell, I jumped out my skin with it, big thing on the top. Bang on the screw. I said, come here, there's fucking rats in here. He went, oh, yeah, no. I said, well, you need to get rat or something. He went, we've got one, he's in here now. I said, well, go and get rid of this thing. He went, oh, he's doing 3 months next door to you for hitting his wife. He was in the jail for beating his wife up the rat catcher.
Hey, Brian, what are the cockroaches like in Walton, fella? Tell the people.
Unbelievable, mate.
Horrible, aren't they?
So Durham was even worse because that's even.
Was it?
Durham was, you get it like walking on packets of crisps all over the floor. Horrible things. They used to leave them in the only time you got meat was the cockroaches and the potato when they used to go in the Durham jail. Yeah, they were in there. Get it in you, so it'll do you well.
Walton jail, G-wing on the twos, down on the bottom, mate. That's crawling with them overnight.
Yeah, I was in there. Well, I was only a few months, but yeah, I got on with all the lads in there. It was good laugh with them.
Yeah.
Just grabbing everyone, me. I'm just one of them people. I like to be nice to people. And
right before I come on, I heard you talking about your training. You used to squat. Was it 500 kg? Why did you squat?
Oh, I did 365 kg for. I squatted that, and I deadlifted the same 360, which is about 800, just over 800, nearly 805 pounds.
I've just started training again myself, I've only been going a week. I've just done my legs then, and I was struggling with 60 kg squatting.
It doesn't matter.
That's how weak I've got.
Just take your time. Don't push yourself. Just keep going.
Yeah.
If you've done nothing.
That's it. That's what I've been doing.
That's the best way to do it. And then
I've just been like a day on and a day off for now, just to get my muscles working again.
That's right, because if you do too much, you'll overtrain, then you'll end up being in bed. You can't walk, you'll seize up.
Yeah, I've done legs. That's the second time I've done legs now, so I'm in the routine now. Keep it up. I'm going on holiday next week, so about 10 days. Going to Lanzarote, so looking forward to that. Taking the baby aboard.
Yeah, it's nice there. It's called the Windy City.
Windy.
Nice. It's just like the people are nice as well because it's just like a family orientated.
My mum's always there. My mum goes to about 4 times a year.
Yeah, I used to go quite a lot myself years ago, but obviously with the injuries I can't do now. But it's nice to be when you get up here, it's freezing, everyone's miserable walking on the street. But when you go to Spain, flip flops on, a pair of shorts, a t-shirt, and you're out.
Different world, isn't it?
It smiles, isn't it? And when the sun's on you, it makes your testosterone get
higher. Yeah. Definitely. Vitamin D. Is it vitamin D in it when you get the sun in it?
Vitamin D, yeah, it's a sunshine vitamin, so it builds up that vitamin D. So people are all miserable from October till about February, March, until the sun's coming out, and that's what it is. They call it the winter blues, but that's what it is. It's like a vitamin D through the sun not being out.
Yeah.
You learn all these things. All these years, 45 years of training.
Hey, that Carl's a nice fella, isn't he? That come on last night.
He's a brilliant lad. He's just like us, mate. A really good lad.
Yeah.
He just can't stand injustices. Can't stand.
He jumped over on man last night.
Yeah, he's a good lad. He went to fight Decker, didn't he? Went to his door and everything on his own. And he's going to tell the story tonight. He's a bit late. I don't know if he's stuck in the gym. I think Emma said he's.
I think he's battered. He's battered Decker. That Decker's just a fake, isn't he? He's never in.
Destroy him. Absolutely.
Look, it does my head. When people think he's hard and all that, he's never had a proper fight with a real heavyweight. Him.
No, he struggled with Danny Christian. He was only 13.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
And
that's I know.
And he beat him at 13. So a lad something like his size would destroy him as well. But yeah, he's just and all that. He's another one for the police.
Brian, you'd have just picked him up, put him to the floor, and just carving him, mate.
Well,
Hey,
he actually did the video of me, and he said, I wanted to be Brian Cock when I was a kid. I wanted to be him, and I wanted to be this. And I thought, fucking hell, I'm glad he hasn't become me. He's,
yeah.
well done to these people, because they've had a couple of fights or something. They win 1 or 2 fights, and then I think the bee's knees, then they get knocked out, and then they'll come down to reality then.
Yeah. Hey, Brian, the taxman stories and all that, some of the little videos you do, I love them, but you know, it's the stories of robbing people back in the day and all that.
Yeah,
People don't like a lot of people who get into that drug dealing game and all, like the younger kids and all that, like they don't realise, do they? Like they're like. That's why you got. That's why a lot of drug dealers now alarm themselves, won't they? Because they're like see yourself back in the day. Same as that. I was that Frenchie. Do you ever meet him? Do you ever speak to him? That Frenchie fella, he used to be a robber, didn't he?
I've never met him. No, I was supposed to go on a do with him, but it all got cancelled in Birmingham ages ago. But I've never met the man.
He was like a well older generation from me, like from the south end, really.
Yeah,
interesting fella, like.
You get loads, don't you? Look, we've got people up here. They've been doing drugs for 30
years. He used to get called. He gave himself the nickname the Devil, didn't he? But even him, I think he's turned to God, hasn't he? I think he's.
People will change his life. I've probably seen the light. Sometimes it takes. God loves a sinner, as you know. If you can turn somebody from a sinner to being a good person, God loves it. He loves sinners better than he does also with the good people, because sinners sin every day, and then he turns to God and become a good person. But the light I was in the dark when I was on that crack every day, looking out the window. Every time you smoke, it's like sucking the devil's breath in you, and it makes your mind think things you'd never think.
I used to sniff. I used to snort the cocaine, obviously, because I was selling it. It's around you all the time, but you know what's like in that life. I just got into an habit, just sniffing every day, and that, just like it was nothing.
Yeah.
You should be paying for it, you know what I mean? I've never ever in my life bought cocaine, like bought a 50 bag, or I always had my own. It was always free, so it just become like an habit, and I was living my life like that for a long time. And you're not yourself, you know what I mean? You're a lunatic. You just let the devil in.
Yeah, but you're not living. You're just existing, because
existing, isn't it?
Every day I'll get up, have a line, have a drink, have a line, have a drink. Oh, get some more coke, and you just.
I was never a drinker. I was never much of a drinker. Like I used to try stuff and everything.
Yeah, but some same people get up and do the same thing every day, and they're doing that routine, and they can't get out of it, and they're stuck. But you can get out of it, because Jesus is the life. Jesus is the way. Jesus showed me the way, and then showed you. So
you showed me the way.
Because you're just wasting your life. You'll get it. You become like 60-year-old, and you look back, you can't even remember what you've done. It's all been
you can't, can you? It's hard to remember a lot of stuff, isn't it?
It is, yeah. You can't remember any good nights whatsoever on it, mate. None.
And I haven't touched it for about 7 years, contrary to what the internet's saying.
I suppose you've got to ignore them half the time, because people just talk any garbage. When you're doing good and you do, like our channel's doing like 500,000 views a month, they can't. They hate you doing it. It's like top.
It's bad, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, David Beckham. Never even met him. Never even seen him. I heard Stephen Gerrard. Never even met him.
I was only renting and putting the computer away.
But that's what I'm saying. No matter what you do, you're always.
It's like now I'm on this comeback journey. You probably get people who come out the closet and try and say shit about me. You've ever had beef in the past and that. You think just little knobheads trying, like people throwing a pic through your window like that. Like it's just the devil tempting you to go back to that old life, because how easy it is for you to pick up the phone and get things done, don't you? You've got friends, even the likes of me, Brian. Look, anyone watching this, if you think you've got beef with Brian, if anything ever happens to Brian and he phones us, look, people, we will come up there. Do you know what I mean? That's what I've changed my life, but there's people like you I'd go all out for because of God and because you're a good fella. Do you know what I mean? And that's risky. Do you know what I mean?
Good
lad. I've always been there for us.
Yeah, and I'm same the other way around, straight down there in seconds. But yeah, it's great. All the people loving it. You can see, in the chat and that. But yeah, so
I can't even see the chat. Sorry, big up everyone in the chat.
What do you think?
How many people are in?
There was over 300 of them there just now.
How many's in now?
261.
Oh, lost numbers, eh?
Yeah, still good numbers.
I'm born, I seen PP was in the chat. Only big up PP.
When did you give yourself to Jesus then? There's a good question.
You know what, mate? I think I first found Jesus like when I was young. I had an art scare one night. I was on the limo. It was after I'd split up with my bird. I was about 21. And I believe in dad, mate, basically, and God made me out new, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I still struggled. I still had the devil on my shoulder for years, you know what I mean? Because you're in that life, and you just.
Yeah.
But I found him a long time ago. I never went to church. I never read the Bible or nothing. But
Yeah.
I just screamed out one day, and he answered me. And yeah, so it's difficult to talk about. Right?
Yeah, I can understand. Yeah, so it's good doing it with Jesus with you because you can't lose. You've got that big shield around you.
Mad when you first find it, you start. It's like people think you're going crazy because you start talking about, all normal people, and you think you're mad around the bend, don't you? It's a mad thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's true. People can
It's
do
real.
it.
It's very real. Oh, it's very real.
Admiring your honesty, Layer Cake saying, can I let you know that really enjoying it and admiring your honesty?
No, he's 100%. That's why I got
Big up Layer Cake. Lovely lad, Layer Cake. From London, he's a good lad. Down south.
Oh, Carl, where you at?
Yeah, where's Carl? Is he coming on?
I'm still waiting for him.
It looks like you and Exploders doing it.
It looks like being you, mate.
Well, we'll crack on then. So, Brian, how did you come across? How did you come about writing your first book and all that? Was that what gave you the idea to do that?
What happened is there was a lad called Steve Richards who written the books on Lee Duffy and Viv Graham and a few others. And then somebody said, "Oh, Brian Cockerill's the best fighter. Brian Cockerill's the best fighter." And he kept getting this name, kept coming to me. So he come to see me. He worked in a factory, and he clever bloke worked in a factory, and there was a competition where they said, "Oh, somebody can write a bit of a book type of thing, not a book like a story on the wall. Whoever wins gets 50 quid." So he did a story on the wall in the factory, and he won these competitions. So he thought, "I'm going to be a book writer." So he started doing. He did the Viv Graham books. Every couple of months, he was on Parkinson and everything. His dog was called Harley, and he was on Parkinson. His dog with one of the Queen's relations. So he decided to do the book with me, and he said, and he said, "I've interviewed mafias, I'm going to do this one." I said, "But there's only one tax man." He said, "How you've lived all these years, all that time, all these shootings and kidnappings and things, all the things that you've gone through, and still lived, got to be in your county."
Yeah, 100%.
People get this wrong. What he said, it's probably 5 people, including yourself, but probably 6 people have done what. 6 people, one from Russia, one from America, one from Australia, one from Poland. He said, "I've done probably what you've done and got away with it all that time." He said, "You're probably 1 in a million, 1 in a billion." He said, because even McIntyre said the strangest thing about Brian Cockerill, he's still alive, but he's still taxing years later. He was fascinated with it as well. Just couldn't believe how long it lasted. Because most people, get killed doing taxing and things like that. So I was looking.
Yeah, God's been looking over you. Right? You know yourself how easy it is to get killed when you're doing that game, mate. For you to survive it and still be here now, it shows you got God on your side.
Yeah, so
you can only do that with God, couldn't you? Without God, if you didn't have God now, the devil had wanted to get you. The one thing the devil hates is people like ourselves who preach about God and that. He doesn't like it, and that's where he comes at you and then sends his little terrified coward demons who told bricks to windows like he done with you. But that's just little pathetic little idiots.
As you've been in that world, like I've been on the field. 6 people have had guns shooting at me, and you've had
I've had it all.
You don't fear nothing because you think, "I'm going to die, I'm going to die." Because when you die, you're dead. You don't have to worry about it. If you believe in Jesus, even though you're dead, you still live forever.
Right, when you've lived enough, you know God's real, don't you? Like, look, I've had a revolver pointed at my face, and revolvers, they don't jam.
No.
And the fella's trying to pull the trigger and it jammed. How? To get me, God.
Yeah.
To get me little things like that. I've had loads of many things like that. You know what I mean? You just know.
Red car. What 12 in a minibus with us and out in the car, and all these lads have run out about 30 weapons and all that. And you had them, them little Dillingers, I think they call them, little handguns. They fire one like bullet type of thing. 6 of them ran out. They all shot at me from about 20 feet away. And they all missed me. And the lad behind me with 12 stone, he got shot. And
that's mad, isn't it?
Unbelievable. And I thought, when I looked, I thought they were only blanks. When I looked back, the minibus we were in, all the windows, Rick Ross was with them, Vulture and all them. All the windows were through on the bus. When I looked back, I thought, fucking hell. And I said, the guy running away, I said, I was faster than Lynch and Christie that night. Like a rocket, because you can chase, you can run at you can't fight a bullet, mate, no matter how tough you are. And so he said,
Right, give us 1 minute, mate.
and he said, "Oh, he can't fight." The size of him, he said, Speedy pulled the handgun out and went, "It only takes a finger to pull the trigger," and they all went, "Fucking hell, wow, he's crackers him." So I'd rather fight the best fighter in the world than go up against somebody who's got a gun in their hand who's prepared to kill you. Exposure. Oh, the thing is blocked. Hello? I lost him.
No, I'm back. Sorry, mate.
So I'm saying it only takes a finger to pull a trigger. So even if you had to fight Mike Tyson, we'd better fight Mike Tyson. You might get a good eye, but you're not going to get killed. But I know this lad, he'd hide in a wheelie bin for you, and you just will not stop until you either kill him or he's going to kill you. So there's them type of people who don't give a shit. They're not bothered about how many gangs are out, how many people are out big. Also, they don't give a shit.
I was like that myself. I was never ever bothered about, like, when you go up and you get involved in them big organised crimes and that, when you get to know them, you then realise half of it's full of shit, half of them are grasses, and you don't give a fuck. You get your own. I got your own things, and I don't always do my own thing then, you know what I mean? And it's never bothered myself. It's like that, but just that normal life, innit, really.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's weird because living sometimes struggling for money and all that, like, and you do miss some of the things that come with it, don't you? There's good parts in there as well.
Yeah, there's some good times.
Yeah.
There's some good times.
Yeah, I do miss. You know what I mean? I don't regret my life. Like, I don't regret it.
No, I don't regret it. I was when I had the raves, I'd walk in, and like you said, you're walking in there like a superstar. You come in to be 3,000 people in the club, and they'd all walk out the way. You'd walk on the dance floor. Oh, you're Brian, everyone wants to shake your hand, or give you an eye clap.
Like, look, I'd go into some of the nightclubs in town and have to draw and walking behind me, tell the bar staff, make sure you get safe first. You know, I'd come into the clubs and accusing me like dead long for the big clubs in town, the likes of the Barcelonas, Young Fars, everywhere. And I was getting walked in and treated like royalty. It goes to your head, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then you stood there and you've got like the DJ.
I was only 9.5 stone, Brian. Do you get me?
Big Bry's in the house, the big fellas in the house, and all that stuff. Everyone's going, hey, and all shouting and that, and you just got that buzz in your head, haven't you? You're full of ecstasy, jumping around, dancing, everyone's happy.
I used to have a lot of friends back when I was younger, go on with a lot of people, and obviously I was selling the lemon, so I was selling it to a lot of German and shit like that. And so I was getting treated well because the lads to work with at the time, at security and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so everywhere I'd go, I was in town, like I was treated like fucking extra nice, you know what I mean? And
the thing is, with that,
you miss them things. I haven't even been out for a night out now. I don't even go out for nights out now. Like I haven't been out for like 10 years to town.
Yeah. The thing is, with that though, you've got to earn your reputation. You can't just get it overnight. You've got to do things.
Well, like with me, I know it was different. I weren't like yourself. I weren't no big 19, 20 stone monster. I was 9.5 stone. I wasn't no hard case. I wasn't like no big gangster. But it was really because probably because all the graft. I was doing a lot of graft and the people I mixed with at the time. So a lot of people kissed me ass because like I was working for certain people.
Yeah,
and it was false. A lot of it was just false, really. They were licking your ass for nothing. Do you know what I mean? And it did go to me head of me. You know what I mean? And you think like, you know, it's mad, isn't it? I'll tell all one day when I write my book and probably do a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it did go to me head.
Yeah, it does. Everyone. It doesn't matter who you are. You mean that. When you live on a council estate, you've had nothing. You're a kid and you struggle. Struggles. There's 7 in a family. You all sit there and you have beans on toast, whatever, because you can't afford what other people got. That could be like a family with 2 kids in it. They get everything because there's only 2 kids. When you're in a big family, you struggle. So you got to struggle in your shoes and stuff like that. So when you get older,
like I was brought up in a good family. Like my mum and dad always worked. You know what I mean? They always worked. You know what I mean? They were anti-drugs and all that. And I started, like, my story, I was really good at football, but I wanted to be a footballer. Yeah, I'll tell you something. And I got the blame for punching a kid in school. And at the time, Liverpool and Everton and that wanted me, and I was really good. I was playing for a good team. I played it like that. I played with players, like all the teams, but my school recommended that they didn't take me. I told them I had behaviour problems. I was put in a corridor for about 3 months, sitting in a corridor writing lads for something I never ever done. And that was just before I went to senior schools, which is when like you join your county teams then, and that's when you get into the clubs. But when I went into the senior school, I was never the same in classroom again. I couldn't mix, I couldn't socialise in the classroom. I was used to being on my own because I've been left in a corridor. The school, right? The school really should have like suspended me if I'd done something wrong. Not because they had a record, and they had a private estate over the road from the council estate. So it was a mix of like private school kids and council estate, and they favoured the private school because they were giving them the funding and everything. And so they never suspended anyone, and I got the blame for doing that. I was a kid off the posh side. I never touched them, and I was just left in a corridor, Brian, to rot, and it affected me bad. I was never the same around people again in a classroom again. And like even it comes to going to football training in the senior school, I'd feel embarrassed turning up. You feel like everyone's looking at me, and you know that for 2 years. So then I used to bunk school, right? I'd just go on the bus and go past school with our mates, and we'd just go into town and I started staying off school then and everything. And that was the end of my football thing. And then obviously I started smoking weed, and then in our area everyone used to rob cars. You used to like the kids would be hanging around and people would come and put a show on in a car, throwing handbrake turns and all that. So that became the norm for us to go. We'd go out and rob a Metro or an Astra GTA. We'd, you know, put shows on the field. That was just as normal life growing up then when we were like 14, 15, 16. Like, our mums didn't have a clue, you know what I mean? My mums out were good working people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the GTEs used to pinch in there with a screwdriver.
Yeah, that's the GTA.
Yeah, the colours.
Yeah.
The kids used to love them. Just used to go in it just to get a chase.
Yeah, that's what we used to do, yeah.
And then obviously... What I said in closing, I said, they're doing stupid, the cops. I said, they chase these kids who can't drive for toffee. Yeah. Get killed, they're risking the life of the kid, they're risking the life of other road users. Let them pinch the car, burn it out, and then go and fucking get the car. And it's only a fucking metal car.
Funny you say that. One of our mates, he died in a car crash, and it was like the plod were meant to be to blame for it. You know, years back, it was a robbed car. That was when we were all growing up younger, like. Yeah.
I think I said to people, like back, I said, you can replace a car, but you can't replace somebody's life. I said, so let them pinch the car, let them, the people that are insured, they're going to get the insurance money back. Instead of chasing them, there's so many people being killed by the police hitting them.
Right. I've had a few miracles in cars as well. Similar, like there's one incident where I was an accountant GSI. Do you remember the accountants? And that was my own car, I bought it. But I was bad, I got chased. I crashed to a wall doing like 100 miles an hour. I got out of the car, he was knocking up with me. And this is a true story. There's a lot of people in Liverpool know about it. Everyone thought I was dead at the time. Like, there was half a car, the engine was on the seat. But to me, it slowed down. I jumped the boy. I got out of that car, and there was no mark on me. I ran and got away from the police. And my ex-girlfriend and my ex-partner, partner at the time, they were in the back of the car. And they go here. They ended up going to hospital in a bad way. And it later turned out they were playing away together. That was the ones where, like, when I went to jail, I come out and split up with my girl. So it was like, and he was knocking up with me. And when I went back to that car, there was half a car. How I got out of that car, I don't know. I never even had my belt on. But like, it was like it, I never even crashed because it was slowed down. That's one of the other things where God had me said.
And have you noticed when you have a crash, everything slows down, doesn't it?
It slowed right down, right? It slowed right down. But I got flashbacks to it afterwards, and it was like when I hit the wall, a bomb going off, like the noise, boom, and just smoke everywhere. But to me, the crash didn't happen like that. It happened like it slowed right down, and I thought I'd nearly stopped and just about hit the wall. And I remember going bastard, because like thinking, oh, I've ripped my car off, you know what I mean? Because it was like a good car at the time. I'm thinking, oh, I was wounded about my car. I just got out, haven't even looked at the car, and ran, jumped over a few back gardens. Yeah, because I was disqualified at the time.
I remember a Lotus Carlton. You've ever heard of one of them?
Yeah, the Lotus Carltons. Yeah, they were the next step from the Carltons.
Unbelievable.
Same thing, back wheel drive, man. Oh, he was.
Well, this one, the one he had was at 500, just 250, 200 miles an hour to do. And I get
the monsters.
Did 165, 170. I'm trying to race him. He went past me like I was in reverse. And I thought I'd just lost the down the area. You don't know where needed them. What he made, they brought 50 up to parts. They're fortunate to buy like they're fast cars. But yeah, the
dangerous cars, Bertie. Them back wheels.
Yeah, powerful, massive wheels, absolutely huge back tyres on them.
Right, give me 1 minute. I just need to run the trailer. If you like to keep talking, like.
Yeah, of course, mate. So yeah, everybody, you can hear the exposure, telling his life story on here for the first time, only on the tax man. Great lad. He's got his missus, he's got the kid, he's got a little dog. You can see him, the joy in his face walking. He'll, the thingy, WhatsApp towers, and we'll talk to each other. And you can see him going down the dock with the kids and that, with the bear and everything. You can see the joy in him and how happy he is and everything. That life he's got now, what he's trying to tell you is the best life. You can have £1 million. Look at your Robbie Williams, your people like what do you call him? Careless Whisper, and his name George Michael Jackson, Prince, all them, Freddie Mercury. All them have died overdose on drugs because they're not happy. It's not money doesn't always make you happy, you know. It's not always. I watched the thing the other day. A lad won £86 million in the lottery about 4 years ago. He said, I'm more miserable now than I've ever been. I was happy that I was working. There was another bloke. He worked on the buses, and he worked as a bus driver for years. And he won the lottery. He won £1 million, and he ended up giving it away because he went and got his job back. He said he went to Spain for so long. And he was in Spain, he was bored. He said it was boring. He had £1 million. He said, I'll give most of it away to my family, put some in the bank, paid the house off, and come back and got back on the buses and became a bus driver. He said, whatever, £300 a week wage or something, and over the moon back working. He said, so it's not always about the money for people. Some people, you know, it's how you live your life. It's not about, if you've got 6 tellies in your house, you can only watch one. If you've got 5 bedrooms, you can only sleep in one. If you've got 8 beds, you can only sleep in one bed. So it's not about the material things. It's if you've got a 20-inch little telly or you've got a 60-inch telly. Yeah, it's nice having a 60-inch telly, but you can still watch the same program on the telly.
I'm back anyway, bye.
I'm just telling about people in life exposure. It's not always about money. I was talking about there was a bus driver with £1 million on the bus.
Yeah.
Right? And he went to Spain for about 3-4 months. He was bored. Come back with the money that his family put him in the bank. He got the job back on the buses. Working on a bus, getting about £300 a week, and he was more happier than he was with £1 million being in Spain. So it's not always about money or material things. If you've got 5 tellies, you can only watch one. If you've got 8 cars, you can only drive one. If you've got a £5 grand car, if you've got a £100 million car, it still takes a bit. So it's not. It's people. Yes, my phone was $2 grand. My shoes are Versace. My thing's Ted Baker. All that shit. It doesn't bother me. All that.
And you know where, like when you haven't got money, like I'm not, like I'm not. I haven't got money like you used to, and that. Right? You do sort of miss that nice thing. The only thing I miss money now is I think, oh, I've got my daughter. You know what I mean? And she should be living like a queen. There's that side of me, but. Like, even when, like, everything I ever had, when I had all the cars, the motorbikes I ever wanted when I was younger, I've had. So it's like, I lost my dreams, mate. You know what I mean? I stopped dreaming and stopped really. So then you're spending your money on shite anyway, and your money doesn't go nowhere. And it doesn't make you happy, does it, overall? Because you end up snorting drugs and you just...
You get people, like I said, George Michael, Prince, Freddie Mercury, all them, they've all died overdose. They're billionaires and the millionaires.
You can't take the money with you, can you, right?
Can't take what you make. The thing is, money doesn't always make you happy. You're more happy now. If somebody offered you £10 billion and you couldn't see your daughter again, you'd rather have the daughter any day of the week, or your dog.
100%.
You've got that family there. It's more precious than anything you've got, and you never will have. The only thing that's most precious is Jesus, and that's Jesus who can give you that life now. You've had that life before. You've come out of the darkness. You're in the light, and you're living now a proper life. Before you were just existing. Now you're living your life.
I still have that devil on my shoulder every day, boy, like we all do. You know what I mean? I'm still in a spiritual battle always. I need to get baptized. I want to get baptized, boy. That's what I'd love to do. We come up to yours in the summer.
Yeah, we'll do it for you.
And we get baptized together or something. You can get me baptized.
The beach at Redcar, that'll be a great one to do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it'd be brilliant.
I urge anyone that's in that life to try and get to know God. And, you know, I understand there's a lot of atheists and a lot of people that don't believe all the bullshit. But, like, me and Brian, when we're talking about Jesus, we're not talking about the church. We're not talking about whether you're a Protestant or a Catholic. It's about Jesus. It's not religion. To me, it's the truth.
That's the only thing about when you get a born-again Christian, you get dunked in the sea, you've washed your sins away. You don't have to keep praying every day. Like, I'm not being disrespectful to Catholics or Protestants. They have to go to forgive me, dear Lord, every day. They have to pray and all that. Once you say it once to Jesus and you're forgiven, that's God, you can
It's
talk.
knowing how to pray. A lot of people think they don't know how to pray, but God is everything, and
God,
it's just
you can pray
you've got to
without-
keep it simple. I don't get into all that Hail Mary stuff and all that because I believe that's worshipping an idol. You know what I mean? I'll only worship God and give praise to Jesus.
we have to
You know
about
what I
that.
mean? And pray.
What we say with that, you've got like the Pope at the top, then you've got somebody else, a cardinal, then you've got another one. So it's like the army, really, with that religion. So I'm not knocking it, but when you're born again Christian, like if you've been a Christian for 10 minutes or you've been a Christian for 20 years, you're both on the same level. There's no one higher than anyone when you're born again Christian. So we're all the same, different guys, but everyone's the same. Only one's more
I've just got a love for Jesus. I love Jesus so much, man. He's unbelievable.
That's why we're here. That's why all he gave his life.
Everybody here if it wasn't for Jesus, man.
He died for our sins, and that's what all the pain that we went through was horrendous.
You know what I feel sorry for, bro? You know the people that mock Jesus and picture him and think like he's just some hippie, like with sandals on, and they get the image of him. They don't understand that Jesus is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, the gangster of gangsters. They don't realise just how gangster he is. He was no coward. Like it took, they said, when the Romans come from, they sent like 600 of the hardcore special forces of the Roman Empire at the time to arrest one man. And he surrounded his house. And he said, we're seeking Jesus of Nazareth. And what did Jesus do? He bounced out the house on his own and said, I'm me. Hey, and they all got down on their knees. They all knew. Do you know what I mean? He was a gangster. Gangsters.
Judas Iscariot was going to betray him, and he could have fled there, got away.
Yeah.
Our sins, and that's why he died on the cross. People don't realise that any of us would have ran. I don't care who you are. But if somebody's going to crucify you, you go. He didn't, and he knew he was going to die, and he still stood there.
Well, look, even Pontius Pilate, right? The fellow I think he didn't want to crucify him. He met him, and he knew he was God. He was writing home. There's actually letters nowadays where he was writing home to the Roman Church, and he knew he could have got killed himself over it, over even writing these letters. And he said, look, I've got to tell you, I do believe this man is the Son of God and all that. This is why he wrote home and all that. I don't want to have to crucify this man and all that.
The main thing that killed him was his own people because of money and greed, because he went into the synagogues and threw all the money out and threw all the stuff. He was raging because he wasn't into money and he was breaking their stuff up. And then the main leaders had got them to Judas, what do you call him? The other one I went Barabbas.
When he let Barabbas go, the people.
Yeah, and
that's
people,
what's sad. Unfortunately, we've got a lot of people like that are evil.
Yeah.
And how could you pick Barabbas to get out? Even if Jesus come back now this day, you've got so many devil worshippers, right, that hail Satan and all that and think it's cool. They think Satan is something special. What they don't realise is Satan bows to Jesus. Satan, like Jesus, they're terrified of Jesus. Like, then you've got these evil people that are doing sacrifices and everything and worshipping, doing all this evil stuff in the name of the devil, thinking the devil's going to be the mate. You know, when they die, the devil's going to torture them for being disloyal to the Father. That's what they don't realise. The devil is going to be the one torturing them. Because, like, we could spend the night going into it, you know what I mean, talking about him one night.
The thing is, when you're with the devil, you sell your soul to the devil. So when you're with him, you're in hell for the rest of your life. With God,
and he ain't going to be your friend. Hey, and what they need to realise is the devil isn't going to pat them on the back and go, oh, you were loyal to me and all that. He's going to be poking you in that fire, terrorising you for eternity because you were disloyal to his Father. Because what you don't realise is the devil also was an angel at one time and he fell because he wanted to test the angels in heaven. And he wanted to do that because he loved God that much. That's what people don't actually understand. They actually think the devil hates God and all that. The devil just wants to prove to God that you're a scumbag, and you're a scumbag. And that's his job. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, the devil was the most beautiful Jesus.